Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Cardinals coming in at 2-6, going up against the Seahawks, who come in at 2-6. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, first opened in 2006. Here's a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're led out by the veteran and the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2002, and that's Carson Palmer.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. Has had it ever since he entered campus there, and still has it today.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Five yards left for the offense. It's second down. They go to Johnson again. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. There you go, play action with Palmer. And this is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Throwing is Palmer. Touchdown, Arizona. looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. On the return, here's DeAndre White. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The 3rd Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And getting a look at the Wildcat here. They stay on the ground. Rawls again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
But that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a former New Mexico Lobo, it's Jarrell Presley. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. The first carry now. This is Lacey. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So a glance here at the key inactives. There's other reasons, but this list, one of the reasons they've been struggling some this year.
And one that they won't make excuses with, but everyone knows that this is the key reason. Without these players, it's made it very difficult for them.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. So this is not the QB here. They're going to do a direct snap out of the Wildcat. There's Presley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Off the fake to Lacey, here's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, normally on a third down play, I'm not a huge proponent of play action. But when you run it as effectively as we've seen them do in this game, yeah, it sets it up pretty well.
Yeah, particularly on this drive, they've been great running the ball. Good setup. Now a carry here for Presley. And he'll be knocked down sideways. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Eddie Lacy, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. First and 10, it's Palmer. And Gresham's got it over the middle. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
On second down, Johnson. Oh, now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They go play action now. Palmer. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cliff Averill in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They start the drive on the ground with Lacey. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from the desert after this. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something the broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right?
It's gotta be
you tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
First down, Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it in the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Play action. Now Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He lets it. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Well, a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. From midfield now, here's Palmer. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They run it again with Lacey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 23 yards on the play.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
QB split out wide now. They're in the Wildcat. On 2nd down, Rawls. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Play action. It's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. To throw is Palmer. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Corey Peters able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
This Cardinals pass rush in 2016 got home 48 times. That's a pretty good number.
A very good number, led the league. Is it just because the dudes that they had or the scheme or both or what?
It's always the dudes first, but their scheme, attacking, pressure, they'll continue to pile up the sacks.
Second down now after the sack. And a wildcat formation here. Rawls. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On the toss, here's Lacey. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And the quarterback won't take the snap here. This is the wildcat look. They'll run with Rawls. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. The Seahawks on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now a 10th carry here for Lacy. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They stay on the ground on first down with Lacy. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On second down, Lacy. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And the quarterback is actually split out wide there in the Wildcat. A 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. A running play for Rawls. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's Thomas Rawls who finishes it off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This one complete to Gresham. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And Palmer gives to Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Second down following the run. Palmer gives to Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. They only get two there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cardinals, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.